45-year-old male, he presented with the lower urinary tract symptom for the past 2 years. Frequency of 40 to 50 times per day and nocturia 8 to 10 times per night. And terminal hematuria with blood clot, suprapubic pain and penile pain since 2 years.
So he has a frequency.
Yes, supposing a patient complains that he's got frequency 40 times during the day, 40 times during the night, and another patient says he's got frequency 40 times during the day and doesn't get up in the night. Is there any difference between these two?
Yes, sir.
What will be the difference?
This night time frequency, that only morning time the patient who has a frequency has maybe taking an intake of water and is continent means.
No, we are not talking about continent. Just these two symptoms.
And this fellow might be having a small capacity bladder also. So
Who?
Both night and morning. This one, since maybe because both the frequencies are there, he might be voiding less. That might be.
Okay. So to put it better, that there is an organic pathology in the bladder. A fellow has got frequency 40 times during the day and 40 times during the night. All things, other things being equal. We are not talking of fluid intake, we are not talking of nocturnal polyuria, all that rubbish. We are just talking straight as these two symptoms. So it's, that itself, your antenna must be clicked up 40 times a day plus nocturia. So you want to ask anything now?
What is the volume voided per void? And whether yes,
questions I would like to ask completely so that
since past 2 years he's having the since he has a frequency, I would like to know what is the voided volume per void, and also whether it is associated with intermittency or hematuria. Hematuria, therefore terminal hematuria with blood clots, and any poor flows.
Patient void 50 to 60 ml every time, and he has a terminal hematuria since 2 years, which is associated with the blood clots.
Any loss of weight or any flank pain or
no weight loss or the flank pain patient.
Or whether it's associated with
sex and age are anything that no?
male, 45-year-old male.
45. What is the significance of suprapubic and penile pain?
While voiding, he might be having the pain.
What is the significance of the symptom? He's got frequency, he's got nocturia, he's got some terminal hematuria, but they've also said he's got suprapubic and penile pain.
Most probably chronic cystitis. Chronic cystitis, which may be also.
Chronic cystitis.
And if he's also 45 years old, then maybe carcinoma in situ might be, but CIS means one.
I told you, don't make pathological diagnosis at this stage. Okay? Stick broad. So here is a patient who has got frequency, nocturia, terminal hematuria, suprapubic pain, penile pain, likely to have a congenital disease, inflammatory disease, neoplastic disease, degenerative disease, drug-induced immune complex disease. Which category does it fit into is the question here. All this, as soon as the history is present, okay, let's look at this way.
From past 2 years only is having, so unlikely to be any congenital disorder presenting with the frequency, increased frequency.
So 2 years is having history.
Terminal hematuria and blood clots, chronic cystitis is one of inflammatory.
So you would put more in terms of an inflammatory disorder rather than malignancy. Simply because he has got 2 years
Long,
of
2 years of
story.
and also
Okay.
large vesicle cal.
No, we are not talking. It's inflammatory.
Yes.
That's your primary diagnosis. Okay, carry on.
So, you are attributing the inflammation to pain and frequency.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any non-inflammatory conditions which can cause frequency and pain
Uh,
in the
This-
bladder?
Vesical calculus can also, large vesical calculus also can present with
Vesical calculus will cause inflammation, na? That it will cause, it will press against the trigone and that area, and that's why there is pain. Non-inflammatory.
overactive bladder. No. But the terminal.
Does overactive bladder have pain?
No, sir.
Yeah, it can't have pain.
Not have pain with overactive bladder.
So pain signifies inflammation or infection, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else? Can it be any referred pain causing the same symptoms?
It's frequency.
Frequency and pain.
Madam asked you non-inflammatory.
You are saying cystitis, na? So I am asking you, is there any other organ nearby which can cause similar symptoms, frequency and pain? Only bladder you are thinking of. You need to think beyond that bladder, na? What else could be the organ which is involved and causing same symptoms? Can chronic prostatitis cause it?
Again, it's inflammation.
Yeah, but it's a different organ, na? Can a stone in the terminal ureter cause it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is go beyond the bladder. Think whether it is coming from any nearby structures. Why only the bladder you are thinking of? Nothing else.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, carry on.
carry on, yeah.
No history of pyuria, lixuria, or flank pain. No history of fever with chills, weight loss, evening rise of temperature. No history of constipation. Last cystic patient had bilateral TC in 2017, and he underwent hysteroscopy in 2017, 18, and 20, and received empirical AKT in 2019 for 6 months. Person history, family history of cystic.
Yeah, that you should give him some chance to think also.
He has received empirical ATT for which, for what TB received, I want to know. And also cystoscopy is done in 2017, 2018 and 2020. For what, why the cystoscopy was done and what were the findings, I would like to know, ma'am.
Patient has similar complaints since 2018, so patient underwent scopy and
Hello?
scopy findings are pale bladder mucosa with patchy areas of inflammation. Bladder capacity is 200 ml and bilateral ureteric orifice pulled down.
Why was ATT started?
Ma'am, based on these
Oh. So for urinary findings.
That on
Urinary
the
system.
they start ATT.
No, sir. Actually, only bladder ureteric orifices is pulled up. They might have taken the biopsy from the bladder to prove the TB and any other investigation.
What other information would you like at this point from them? From who's presenting, that they only said cystoscopy was done, 3 times it was done, and the only or this thing was there. Is there anything else you want to know at this point?
I would like to know whether any biopsy was taken from the bladder.
Okay, apart from that, anything else you want?
Any other investigations like
Like what?
AFB culture or AFB urine smear was done at that time.
What else?
Since
What else?
they have started empirical ATT.
What else?
And also upper tract, whether any
Very
lesion was
important, upper tract. If the bladder is like this,
upper tract will also.
you cannot say leave the upper tract alone. Huh? So you ask, was there any other imaging done 2017, 2018, 2020 to find out why this fellow is having this problem. If you've done Skokie 3 times, somewhere along the line you would have done something to look at the kidneys, isn't it?
Biopsy was not done. CT was done in 2018, and it was suggestive of mild dilatation of bilateral pelvic callaceous system with hydroureter. Bladder was thickened, appeared to be small. Irregular wall thickness is 9 millimeter.
This was done in 2017.
18.
Only mild dilatation of the
Bilateral pelvic with hydroureter.
and what was his creatinine at the time? Contrast whether the bilateral kidney both functioning or
Creatinine was normal.
Well,
So-
proceed, man. Don't waste time.
since already he has it's a known case of GUT.
Known case. How do you know?
They told so.
Who said?
Still like to be proved.
Yeah, they just said
But,
it's
there is
empirical treatment.
empirical
Known
treatment
case
on
means
it.
what? You have no idea. They said no biopsy was done, no, nothing was done on this one.
So I would again like to investigate these patients. First, I would like to do
You want anything else before that?
examination findings.
What were you looking for in the examination findings? In
Uh,
particular.
In
What are you looking for in the examination findings?
for any in a per abdomen
Okay, for abdomen, what will you
any
look for?
palpable bladder or anything since he has a small
Palpable
capacity.
bladder. Yes, right.
So in
In TB with that
external-
palpable bladder.
no,
External
external genitalia thickened was or any discharging sinus from the
or
uh,
thickened was discharging sinus, anything else?
DRE
No, the genitalia itself. Finish the genitalia, then go to DRE.
any inguinal lymph nodes.
There is no epididymis there in the genitalia. Before sinus comes, the epididymis is usually involved, no? Huh? Then what will you find? Anything else you look for?
DRE
DRE, what you look for?
seminal vesicles.
Seminal vesicles. Why is the seminal vesicle palpable in TB? Everything is palpable, but this damn organ is palpable. What is the significance of a palpable seminal vesicle in TB? Anybody? KM, significance of palpable seminal vesicle in TB.
Ejaculatory duct obstruction.
Yes. If you ask these patients, they will tell you about their ejaculate volume. Supposing seminal vesicle is not palpable, what's the other DRE finding?
Prostate might be hard.
What about prostate? Prostate might be.
Hard.
Why are you so
fibrosis.
diffident in your answers, man? Honey, you know the answer, say it boldly. Prostate is hard and large or small?
Small cell.
Small. So this is another reason for a hard prostate on rectal examination. What are the other causes of hard prostate on PR apart from malignancy?
Is prostatic calcifications.
Calcification. Anything else?
Fibrosis and again post TURP also.
Post TURP. Anything else? Anything else? Can you feel the calculus? Is it different from calcification?
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Prostate
Can there
calculus.
be other non-malignant conditions in the prostate which give rise to hard prostate? Other strange inflammatory conditions. You heard of malakoplakia? A lot of conditions give rise to hard prostate. So we must remember that CA is not the only reason. It is the commonest, but there are other conditions. Okay, carry on.
Examination findings actually.
Yes. Examination finding, general examination findings is normal. Examination, very common examination is normal. Here is anal tomb is not, no prostatomegaly, prostate is found smooth and mucosa is free.
Genital examination, abdominal examination is normal. One would like to have the investigations in the form of first urine routine, whether to.
So what's your working diagnosis now? Whether you got history and physical findings, what's your working diagnosis?
GUTB only, sir. Since he was already started on empirical. TB,
Sure, GOTP.
It can be wrong, na? Why it is empirical? There is no proof for it. So you are free to make another diagnosis.
Possibly is the word to use if you want to say it. Possibly urinary tuberculosis. However, I would like to consider
chronic cystitis also.
other conditions, other pathologies apart from this because it has never been proved. And any other reason? Any other reason?
Since attract other changes also.
Any other reason? Very important reason.
There is no loss of weight or any.
Has this patient been treated? He's been treated empirically now. So if I treat somebody empirically for TB, I expect him to improve, isn't it?
Yes.
Unless
it is not a TB, but.
Unless it A, it's not TB, or B.
After treatment, it has undergone any further stricture or fibrosis changes.
It is not sensitive. It is some other TB.
Resistant.
It is not the standard. It could be some resistant. And therefore, what other history would you like to get from this patient? Which has not been told you or you have not asked?
What was the primary means? What is the primary focus of this?
No, forget the primary focus. Only a couple of weeks ago we discussed, man. Kamaraj made one presentation. All made one presentation. KEM presented the case.
What was culture, sir, actually?
Nahi Baba, not culture.
You are thinking of not a regular TB, then what other history you like to ask?
If a patient has been given standard anti-tubercular therapy, he does not respond. Diagnosis is wrong. Drug is not working.
MDR or XDR.
If the drug is not working, it is MDR or XDR. In which situations will there likely to be MDR and XDR?
INH and rifampicin resistance.
That is MDR. Agree, that is MDR, XDR.
But in which situation?
Which situation? How about an immunocompromised state?
HIV and.
Yeah, man. These are. I want you to vocalize this and in your mind and in your thoughts also and in your action. That yeah, this fellow could be having that. He may be having HIV. I don't know. We haven't asked for the history. We don't know whether it's what's happening here. So the important thing is to keep an open mind when you see a case like this who has been treated, who has not benefited by treatment. We are assuming that he took the treatment with the DOTS regime program in place. Okay, carry on.
I have his urine routine actually. Urine,
Ask
urine.
what are things you want at home,
Urine,
so that
since,
becomes easier.
yes. Urine routine, urine culture, and also since he is to assess bladder volumes and MCU and cystogram.
You want MCU, you want urine, routine, you want urine culture,
As well as serum
And?
creatinine.
creatinine,
And to see upper tract CCT.
depending on the creatinine value.
Yes.
Okay. Any other culture specific you want? Any other culture you want?
For urine, for AFB and gene expert, and AFB smears are actually again based upon whether in urine microscopy findings.
Creatinine is 0.8 with hemoglobin of 8.4. Electrolytes are normal. Albumin is 3.7. Urine routine microscopy 4 to 6 pus cells, 4 to 6 epithelial cells, RBCs 2 to 3. HIV, HPS, and HCV is negative. Urine for AFP is negative. Bilateral moderate hydroureteronephrosis present. Irregular thick wall bladder with internal echos. Pre-void of 70 cc, post-void of 30 cc.
Hey, hold it. So now what is missing?
Frequency volume chart also would have.
That they have told you 50 cc is passing. What other investigation is missing in this patient? Which you would like? A condition which is notoriously goes on like this with some pain, with some frequency, with this thing not responding to the
Fungal culture.
fungal culture. More serious. Producing low hemoglobin also. About malignancy.
Yes.
Which type of malignancy can go on like this with frequency, pain, and all this?
Carcinoma in situ.
So, would you like to do a cytology?
Yes, sir.
Pucho, yeah. See, you have to be thinking about it. You know, you blanked out on everything else and just focusing TB somewhere. I think this is the problem with this patient's whole story. Which is typical in a situation where a diagnosis has been made. Known case of GUTB. I'm sure every file has written known case of GUTB and every doctor has written known case of GUTB. I may be wrong, but this is what happens. So you say known case, and finally the fellow goes in the grave only. Huh? Look at things afresh.
But
Okay, carry on.
to explain this small capacity.
Small capacity bladder, you won't get in carcinoma in situ? Huh? Okay, carry on. You can get this also an invasive carcinoma of the bladder, the lightitis type of situation, thick wall bladder. The only thing is these conditions can linger for a while. And they may not be as rapidly progressive as a real growth in the bladder, you know. Can go on like this. Okay. CT दिखाओ. Any thoughts now?
Delayed films are there.
Delayed films are there.
Bilateral kidney, bilateral kidney appears to means have a moderate hydronephrosis with the blunting of calyces and patient has small capacity bladder.
You are not telling us about the functional status of each kidney. You are not describing it as you are supposed to describe it in the exam. You are
Bilateral
just
kidney,
being very
yes.
casual about looking at the CT.
Bilateral,
Don't do that.
bilateral kidney appears to be enlarged and both the kidneys of the contrast is good. Excretion
What
delayed
is the
films.
diagnosis here? Working diagnosis at the moment? No. What was it?
Your diagnosis.
This is GUTV or
Possibly GUTB. So now, with that in view, with that in your mind, look at this X-ray very carefully and see whether it matches anything that's been happening. For 2 years, these fellows had this treatment, has there been anything else? What is striking here?
the features of TB, any calcification if it's
No.
present.
So when you describe the CT, you have to remember all these things and say all the negative features. If you have made a diagnosis of tuberculosis, what are the things that are expected to be there, which is not there? So you have to think about this very carefully, you know.
They have not quoted any upper tract dilatation is in the sense.
Both kidneys are functioning well.
Yes, both kidneys
Both
are
kidneys
uptake
are
of
functioning
contrast
well.
is good, but excretion
Both kidney size is good.
they are mildly enlarged.
Is there any
size.
scarring in the kidney?
No. I
Is
didn't
there
see
any evidence of calcification in the kidney?
calcification?
Anything else? What is the other hallmarks of tuberculosis?
This calicosis, infundibula stenosis, or
Yeah,
those things.
you have to mention all that. Here is a man who has been treated for TB, who's had cystoscopy done in 2017, 2018, 2019. Orifices are pulled up. They only said something about bladder capacity, showing some reddish patches. That's it. Finish. Tell us. Huh? What is a hallmark of tuberculosis if a patient has a small bladder?
Fibrosis, right? It will be
What is the hallmark of urinary tuberculosis if on imaging the patient has a small contracted bladder?
Bladder is a dash one. Sir, that's how sir is asking indirect question.
upper tract will always be involved when the
Correct. If the bladder is involved, the upper tracts have to be involved, especially if putting in such a small contracted bladder. That too for 2 years. For 2 years. That itself should all your antenna. Hey, I'm seeing this. What is happening here? Those thoughts must go to your mind straight away. Kidney can be involved. Bladder need not be involved to that extent. Early changes. Kidney can be involved. If the bladder is as it is seen on this X-ray, thick wall, small capacity, the kidney looks good, yeah. Just eyeballing the kidney looks very nice.
yes.
Yeah. So immediately you should begin to wonder. And focus on the urinary bladder now and find out any telltale signs there which indicate that this may not be tuberculosis.
But those axial cuts of the bladder are very important. How it look like. So I'll describe everything. Put 1 to 1 plus 1.
Yeah, basically you have to look at the kidneys and the ureters and any other structures you see there in the CT scan. You from sonography you have found out that it is a thickened wall bladder, but beyond that you need to look and see whether there are telltale signs, and more than that you have to tell us so that we know that you know.
That is most important. So vocalizing is important at the moment. Yeah. So tell us.
Yeah.
Bladder, other than thickened wall, the peripheral means the surrounding this one, there is no other mass or anything. So in the
There is
bladder.
no other mass.
Where is the thickening occurring in the bladder?
In the wall.
Which
ma'am.
wall? Entire wall?
Yes, ma'am. Full.
Okay. Can you tell how many millimeters or centimeters it is?
Show some more of the axial cuts, man, of the bladder. Don't focus on the reconstructed images. Axial cuts of contrast, the contrast axial cuts.
Show the one which is showing thickening. Once you see them carefully, you will understand. I have operated on this patient, so I know better where is the thickening. But
Stop. Okay.
Center bladder.
show some more cuts, Aadhar.
There are some more cuts. Wait.
Wait here. This was the actual picture operatively. Only the entire posterior wall of the bladder was very thick. The anterior wall of the bladder was pretty thin.
Yes, ma'am. Other images are showing entire bladder.
Yeah, few images are showing that, but you will see that even I didn't notice this finding I thought it's part of the seminal vesicles or that area which has been shown. But then intraoperatively, it was very appreciable that only the posterior wall was thick. Entire posterior wall down.
Yes, ma'am.
While anteriorly it was thick but not so thick.
Okay. Then,
So you to tell us about kidneys and ureters finally again. Just mention, na, both the kidneys are slightly enlarged. What's happening to the cortex, medulla? Is the pelvis typical of tuberculosis? Anything in the calyces, ureter? 3-4
No.
sentence में बोल दो ना, practice हो जाएगी.
Only hydronephrosis was present, and slight blunting of the calyces is present. There is no infundibulous stenosis or any ureteric strictures or this one noted.
Okay. What about the UV junctions?
UV junction appears normal. Ma'am.
Normal.
In fact, images they are not showing any narrowing or anything. So
Okay.
images are
So
not
when
there.
there is such a small capacity bladder, what do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
think can happen to the ureters? Most probably.
Dilatation, I mean, there may be associated with the vesicular reflex, and there may be a
And narrowing, na?
yes,
There may be narrowing at the UV junction. So you have to look specifically for it.
but
You
yes, ma'am.
can't see it, it's okay. But look and then mention it.
Yes, ma'am.
See, another condition which you should keep in mind, when we have this thickening, where if you look carefully at the shape of the bladder, it is not being like the regular shape of the bladder. There is some perivesical fat which is normal. Are we looking at some variants of pelvic lipomatosis, where the entire gamut is not seen, where the ureters are not yet totally involved, where they should be because it's all in the posterior, but seems to be very selective. We always are used to looking at very classical images of conditions. So we miss out on thinking about them because the image is not classical. But when you have something like this, okay, it's got hematuria, it's got suprapubic pain, is there anything else? Huh? So what do you think this is?
So I would like to do a cystoscopy.
No, your diagnosis is TB or you don't think it's TB?
Only small bladder, sir. Other drugs
So
almost
what
appears to
would you
be
like to put this at? Would you like to say malignancy?
malignancy.
You don't think it's
2
malignant?
years malignant. Invasive
Okay.
malignancy.
Just because it's 2 years, you have said it's not malignant.
And maybe other things, carcinoma in situ, sir. But for that, again, previous cystoscopy shows there is no evidence of that.
How do you know? They have just said the patchy areas, pulled up orifices, small capacity bladder fits it. We don't have any biopsy proof of anything at the moment. Huh? Thickened bladder wall, we discussed small capacity, thickened bladder wall, type of transition cell carcinoma, which is infiltrating. Only thing which is missing here is the fact that there is no gross hydronephrosis, which one would expect in a situation. It is moderate, mild. So if something has been going on of such serious import that is still not producing gross hydronephrosis by now, or it's still all very mild, are we looking at a non-malignant pathology here? No benefit to the anti-TB treatment. It has not progressed in 2 years. But it remains like this, in the patient having pain and he got discomfort, small capacity bladder. That is why I raised the possibility, is it a non-malignant, non-inflammatory condition? Plenty of, you got that book that will tell you all the non-inflammatory conditions of the bladder which are there. That is why I raised the possibility. Are we looking at a variant of pelvic lipomatosis or any other way? Could be wrong, but it's important to think about these conditions in a patient like this.
Small capacity outlet.
Small bladder, yes, of course, pelvic bladder compressed, small capacity. Frequency, pain, discomfort, all that is there. Again, when you have such severe symptoms, one would expect the disease to be gross, isn't it?
Yes.
It doesn't happen like that in medicine sometimes. So you have to think out of the box. So you will do a cystoscopy and possibly bladder biopsy. Yeah?
First, I would like to do a MCU.
You want to do MCU?
Means cystogram.
He wants to do MCU now.
Cystogram.
Cystogram. Okay, he wants to do cystogram. How is that going to help? Isn't there already one nice cystogram here? You're doing it for reflux or what?
Yes.
Or you want to do a reflux? Primary or secondary reflux?
Secondary one.
So of what use is it? Of what use is it? They did not tell you that the orifice just said pulled up orifice. They didn't tell you anything about the golful nature of the orifice.
Since I don't know what is the ureter, sir. So I also
In CT they are showing you right at the end of the ureter, madam has just
the terminal strictures and all ma'am mentioned. So that
MCU will show that.
after that I would like to do RGP also to see the strictures.
So you make a mind, you want to do MCU or you want to do cystoscopy and RGP?
Cystoscopy and RGP.
You will go for cystoscopy and RGP. You
What
want to
are
go
your anticipated problems in cystoscopy and RGU in a small capacity 70 cc bladder? He has hematuria off and on, and you have seen this thickening, which is mainly on the posterior wall.
First
And
is
what
the
is your aim in doing cystoscopy? Will it be fulfilled?
first to establish a diagnosis, ma'am, to take any biopsy or since other differential diagnosis also carcinoma in situ, whether any other previous cystoscopies are not showing any carcinoma in situ, features suggesting of carcinoma in situ, and regarding the ureter also, ma'am, they already told that it's a pulled up ureter, whether the trigone and whether there is thickening and capacity. Again, to assess the capacity, can assess capacity of the bladder through cystoscopy also.
The most important reason for you to do a cystoscopy here is that you are the surgeon. You are the treating physician for this patient. And unless the patient has been scoped in your unit, you have to put knife to the patient. It's your responsibility to see what the bladder looks like. That is the most important reason. Whatever else anybody else might say. Ultimately, the buck stops with you. It's very important to know that. You might get a patient from... How long does it take to do a cystoscopy before you do anything on somebody's bladder? 15 minutes, that's all. It can make a difference to the entire management of a patient. So as a physician, as a surgeon, you have every right to tell the patient and to tell even the examiner, sir, I am going to see this patient for the first time. I would like to do the cystoscopy myself. Bladder biopsy, tumor, whatever it is, I want to know what's happening here. There is thickening of the posterior bladder wall. There has been no biopsy taken. I want to see what that is. So therefore, you will tell the patient that this is what it is. Unless you have strong evidence in terms of histological, you got a slide. Even then, if you got a slide and report, you send that slide for reporting to your pathologist and make sure that everything is okay. Okay, carry on. It's getting late. OPD.
This is MCU of the patient.
So on this MCU, can you appreciate something which was not seen on CT?
Both Ureter, VUR, ma'am. Actually, vesicureter triplex is there.
Okay. What
And,
grade?
It is grade 4, ma'am. It is up to the upper calyx with the blunting of the calyx is also seen. And mild tortuosity of the ureter is seen. So grade
So
4.
how does the ureter look?
5 step. Single column, sir, ma'am.
Single
Pipes.
column. There's no irregularity, no narrowing, nothing. Can you comment on the UV junctions now?
UV junction is dilated, ma'am. Means the ureter is traceable up to UV junction.
How
ma'am.
would you
After
like
that,
to comment on the UV junction in an MCU?
Okay, see all the films. Adar, have you shown him all the films? Any more film, post-void film?
No, madam. These are the 4 films.
Oh, you assess the lower end of the ureter and MCU on the post-void film. At the moment, you are seeing that there is reflux on both sides, and it looks as though from the edge of the bladder is going up, but that bit you are not able to see. All right? And we also know that the orifices were pulled up at cystoscopy. They did not indicate to us that they were gall fold. So if the orifice is pulled up, and there is bilateral reflux, what is likely to be happening there?
the UV junction is fibrous.
So this is a situation where there could be obstruction as well as reflux.
Reflux.
Obstruction and reflux together in a patient.
Yes, ma'am. For since his upper tract is maintained, only bladder is a pathology. Will also cystoscopy. After cystoscopy, further treatment can be planned, ma'am.
Yeah, but you think these ureters are normal looking ureters?
It's not so much. No, ma'am. It is like.
They are not tortuous and dilated.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They are in a straight line.
Yes, ma'am. Like pipe stem ureter.
So you need to mention
Yes, ma'am.
mostly yes. So if at all on a plain film, you should look for any calcification in the wall,
Yes,
any
ma'am.
thickening which is appreciated. Though not on MCU, but in CT you should have appreciated.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now we still don't have a diagnosis, but we have a pathology.
Yes. We are
Will
not
you do?
ruled. But again, we don't have a biopsy, cystoscopic biopsy to have a like pathological diagnosis of TB since.
Yeah, but cystoscopic biopsy may not necessarily give you a pathological diagnosis of tuberculosis. No, not all biopsies will be conclusive or suggestive.
Since
All the urinary tests and all the microbiology related tests are negative,
yes, ma'am.
not helpful.
Then since his he has a VUR as well as upper tracts are getting involved, and now upper tracts not suggestive of TB, then we might require him to augment the bladder.
Before that, you want to do something?
CMG, ma'am.
Why?
to see the compliance of the bladder, how it was, and how much pressure it's generating, ma'am.
Uh-huh. Why means why? Why do you want to do this? Is it going to help you in your management, or your management is decided augmentation only?
Mm,
And refluxing, na grade 4 reflux ureters. What are you going to do about that? And probably obstructed also, na? We told you that there could. Yes, sir.
I'll just go down to the OPD, you cannot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
To
we
reimplant
suggested to you that there could be
to reimplant the ureters, ma'am. Also. Augment and reimplant the ureter in the augmented side.
the management.
Ma'am, we could not hear him, ma'am, actually. Ma'am, hello. Ma'am, you are not audible, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So,
Ma'am, we
okay,
couldn't hear.
take this as another question. Like suppose this patient has grade 4 reflux.
Yes, ma'am.
And he has a small capacity bladder by which he has been bothered for 2 years. So you are thinking of treating him by augmentation cystoplasty. So during this cystoplasty, would you think of reimplanting these ureters or not? And what are your
Yes, ma'am.
reasons for it?
First, yes, ma'am. I would like to reimplant his ureter because he has already has a reflux, and
Why?
posterior part only is thickened, and so I would.
Yeah,
also,
but if if you make the compliance better by augmentation and increases capacity, won't the viewer settle?
But still that fibrosed, and since the ureteric orifice is already they are told pulled up and probably like a golf hole, then reflex will be present.
Why does reflux occur? Because of fibrosis?
No, because of the small capacity bladder and increased pressure.
Yeah, so you're solving that not by doing an augmentation cystoplasty. Then why do you want to reimplant? Reimplantation is with its own set of problems, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a major decision, bilateral reimplantation.
Since it's all because the ureter also are looking like means they are not distensible, and this one they always it is better to implant in the augmented side, ma'am, rather than the.
Okay. So how you said you want a CMG? How will a CMG help you in taking this decision or not taking this decision?
If the compliance is better, ma'am, then we may. If already the compliance is of the bladder is better, then we may not require to augment. Means reimplant, ma'am. If compliance is bad, and again, then we may require to reimplant.
Okay, so one is compliance. What else?
Then.
How will you rule out that this patient doesn't have bladder neck outlet obstruction or bladder outlet obstruction, causing this entire issue?
Then we are.
So before taking up a major surgery like augmentation, where you are making the patient committed for life.
Yes, ma'am.
With a bowel segment in him, mucus, CSIC, all those problems, UTIs. You have to think, na? Is the bladder neck normal? Because our diagnosis of tuberculosis is not proved. It may not be proved also, finally. But we have to also think, is this something else? Isn't the patient young?
Yes, ma'am.
So then what
Which is-
are the things which can occur at the bladder neck, which can produce a similar picture?
Bladder neck contracture primarily, but the cystoscopy is
No,
there.
no, forget the cystoscopy. I'm just telling you that you also have to look at the pDAT, find
Yes,
out
ma'am.
whether there is any obstruction. If need be, even if cystoscopy looks normal, you may have to do a TYP or an incision or something, or look
Yeah.
more carefully, because this thing didn't come to your mind only, na? That we have to also look for obstruction.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to discuss?
No, ma'am.
Anything you'll do during the surgery? Anything will you do during the surgery while augmenting the bladder?
We have to exercise the part of the bladder except the posterior part, trigone and this one, ma'am. And then
Why to exercise? 70 cc capacity hai na?
but
In which conditions do you exercise the bladder while augmenting, and when do you not exercise?
the bladder wall is fully thickened and then we have to exercise, ma'am, or it is involved, grossly involving all the.
Nothing like that. If there is nothing, if the whole thing is diseased, friable, full of fistulae or something, then you can exercise. Otherwise, you can anostomose to just take an incision and put in a patch. Augmentation. So now next time you will tell me an answer to this. In which conditions for augmentation cystoplasty would you excise the bladder, and where would you just augment the bladder? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes, ma'am.
what in this patient especially, we don't have a biopsy now. We are opening him. So take a bladder wall biopsy
Yes, ma'am.
and send it, na, so that we know if there is something which we have totally missed and not thought of about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this patient, when we opened up, the part of the bladder mucosa was ulcerated mainly on the right side. It could
Yes.
be in relation to his catheter, but it was definitely not looking like that. So we sent a biopsy. His left ureteric orifice was very much pulled on the right, and both of them were patent and not fibrous, supple. And so we just augmented him and took a biopsy. So
Yes,
there is, we tried to buttress the right ureter, but the left it was very difficult. So there is a possibility that post-operatively he could reflux in spite of augmentation. So that has to be kept in mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the bladder outlet looked normal. The rest of the bladder, actually the lower part of the bladder, the trigone and everything was pretty thin and looking normal. So much so that I was wondering, is this the right decision? Then when we started taking
Oh, yes, ma'am.
the wall, then it was thickened, almost 1.2, 1.3 centimeter thick.
Okay.
Okay. So if you don't have any questions, shall we call it a day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next time you are going to give me an answer, okay?
Yes, ma'am. That
Okay, bye.
exercise and we will. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.